You look throughout history, and anyone who's created low-cost free energy is gone. Literally gone. Their technology is shelved. Their patents are confiscated. That should tell you all exactly what's happening.
Anybody know where the great-great-grandson of George Washington is? Anybody know where the great-great-great-great-great-great-grandson of Leonidas is?
Right here. According to my uncle, at least.
Those bloodlines have been murdered. History's been rewritten and rewritten and rewritten and rewritten. The version we're in now began to be rewritten in 1871 to 1920. And what you think about how the West was settled is bullshit. It's very easy to debunk all of this by just finding the books the ADL banned. Like, literally go find that list.
Homeschool your kids, do whatever you got to do it. Doesn't matter if you have to liquidate whatever. Homeschool your kids or else they will fight against you later. Then you have to get out of the death system called the medical system, and you have to understand that what they tell us is wrong with us is not wrong with us, whether it's cancer or anything else. And get into herbalism, put the right food in your bodies, and ignore what they're telling you. Learn how to physically defend yourself, kinetically. You have to learn how to digitally defend yourself through digital privacy. And then you have to free your mind. And that's the biggest thing. If you're your own worst enemy, then free your mind. There are no conspiracy theories. It is all real.
Background is chemical and biological engineering. I worked in biotech for a few years, and I was my chemical safety officer for my lab. When I started seeing the chemicals that I needed to wear a mask and gloves to handle in my food, polysorbate 80, like aluminum trichlorid-X, just like polysorbate. It's like, well, hang on a second. What is this doing in here? I'm not even supposed to touch this, but I'm supposed to consume this?
I don't know what it's going to take to wake up, but whoever doesn't's not going to make it much longer, because as John said, this is in play right now. The Trump has controlled opposition. It's an illusion again, and you're all getting duped again.
If you've been in this space long enough, the announcement at Nashville was a double-edged sword, because you got the sense that, hey, congratulations, Bitcoiners, you're all going to be rich. Go get in that pen, and we're going to shut the gate. But you're going to be rich. And that's a massive distraction, because we didn't get into this space because it was all about number go up. Most Bitcoiners got into this space because they were awake and they were aware and they were conspiratorial and they didn't trust the government. They had questions and they wanted answers, and this was a way to rug pull the people that were fleecing you.
Paul, why did BlackRock get into it? How come Gemini's ETF wasn't approved?
No, why did JP Morgan all of a sudden like gold and become the custodian?
I like gold.
They must be figuring some stuff out. The battle has just begun. And we need to take this congratulations, you're going to be rich, and turn that into real change. KYC AML is not sustainable. AI will destroy it. We need to come with the solutions. We need OG Bitcoiners that are going to become incredibly wealthy to be powerful, awake individuals that take us to the new future. We will not have that future if we don't do what Chris said, raise our consciousness and fight the fight.
Some of it is spiritual and in prayer, meditation, reflection. A lot of it is health in getting metals and toxicity and pathogens out of your body, using all of your 7 senses. You have more than 5. And then understanding what we're actually facing, going through ego death and the trauma when you realize what you're facing, and then be a kinder, gentler, more harmonious with nature being to bring up your community. And I think that's where the easiest place to start is.
And being kinder and gentler does not mean you're weak.
Only the strong can be kind and gentle.
If you think about us, not as they taught you to think about us, as weak biological creatures evolved from pond scum. If you think about us as energetic beings that have a real measurable energy around us, then we are in this physical existence producing things, putting energy into things, and this energy is then confiscated over time through these financial mechanisms. But what they're really doing is stealing human energy and the human spirit. Bitcoin is a money thing to get rich to some people, but what it is a impenetrable barrier to siphoning off human energy over time.
What we're here to really primarily do is shock you into your best self. And if you're going to remain an NPC SDE cuck, by all means, you have the free will to do it. But the probability of Bitcoin going to 140 is really high in the next 100 days. But the probability of it going to 60 in the following 100 days matters not to what we're actually facing. It's all an illusion, guys. It's all a fucking illusion. Number go up is like the biggest like drawback to being in the Bitcoin space. Its price in fiat does not matter. And if you are in it to convert it to more fiat, you're a fool and shouldn't even bother. If your consciousness is that low, where that is your goal, there's the door. This is not a low T, high time preference space. This is for ideally a spiritual warrior class that will survive what has started. And I hope all of you can gather some chutzpah and inner strength from this and raise your consciousness and awareness. But the reality of it is that central banking is just a construct because we allow it to occur. Your securities rights began being taken from you the moment the Federal Reserve took its third iteration in 1913, but more specifically 1964 through 2010. You already own nothing and like it. They can already kill all of us basically with a remote control because our bloodstream are operating systems for the Internet of Things. If you don't know that, you're almost too late. You need a water source, land, a combination of solar and copper wire, Tesla-style power, and then you need to secure whatever you don't want to lose. I have a combination of hard precious metals in hand, a shit ton of Bitcoin, ammo, 6 months to a year of stored dried foods, and then the skill sets to create more food, as Paul mentioned. Those are the lists you can do right now. And then whatever you have in your stock, bond, and bank accounts, just mentally write it off. Whatever number you want to leave in that, you have to understand that the probability of them taking it in the next 12 months is extraordinarily high. And it'll be some sort of QE bail-in combination. They've already written the plan out.
Create a framework in your mind that you're living in a post-truth world. You need to come to it with the realization that these are all ideas, these are all potential timeframes, these are all agendas, these are all psyops, these are all things that are being pushed at me to make me think a certain way, as opposed to getting back on the soil and dealing with your neighbors and in your community and having real life relationships.
Getting out of what we were told, what is good for us, what is bad for us, and start questioning everything yourselves. It really leads to a spiritual journey that's enlightening. And one of the things I love about being in this community is that we are very, not just we don't trust, we verify. So we do our own research, and that makes us better people overall and willing to learn and be humble in that situation.